ruining anything?
Your ears are very important to us. Please hold on, and our program will begin shortly. The Soundcheck podcast is coming up. Please continue to hold. Keep up with the Soundcheck podcast and everything that's happening in the New Sounds empire. Just go to newsounds.org and follow us on social media. All of the icons are in the top right corner of the page. From newsounds.org, this is the Soundcheck Podcast, our series of live in-studio performances. I'm John Schaefer. To understand where Fantastic Negrito's music comes from, you have to understand where he's been. This is a musician who wanted it all, had it all, lost it all, nearly died, and was reborn as a musician and as a dad just a few years back. Fantastic Negrito makes modern music with its roots in black roots music like the blues. His latest album is called Please Don't Be Dead. There's a story behind it, and we'll get that from Fantastic Negrito in just a couple of minutes after he and the band start us off with a live performance of a song called Plastic Hamburgers.
Addiction man, you understand? We got to break out these chains, burn it down. Break out these chains, burn it down. Break out these chains, burn it down. Break out these chains, let's burn it down. 9-inch penis underneath her dress. She wanted everything that it did not have. And if we keep buying everything that sells, American beer will wreck and kill us. Yes, it will. So we got to break out these chains, burn it down. Break out these chains, burn it down. Let's break out these chains, burn it down. Ooh, we're gonna burn out. Oh. We got to break out these chains. Let's burn it down. Let's break out these chains. Let's burn it down. Let's break out these chains. Let's burn it down. Break out these chains. Let's burn it down.
That's Fantastic Negrito, live here in the Soundcheck studio on this edition of the Soundcheck podcast from newsounds.org, and a song called Plastic Hamburgers. Fantastic Negrito is the work of the singer, songwriter, and multi-instrumentalist Xavier Dphrepaulezz, who is back in our studio. Last time, Xavier, you were here, it was just you and the guitar. Now the full band.
I bought an army.
You bought a little battalion of musicians. Tomas Salcedo playing the guitar, Michael Shiono playing the bass, Darian Gray in the corner behind our drum kit, and Brian Simmons playing the keyboards.
Yes.
And so all of you welcome. The album called Please Don't Be Dead, the song, Xavier, is from it. And both the sound of the song and the video that goes with it really places this song in the context of a long tradition of blues music and kind of struggle. You know, there's lots of imagery in the video of civil rights protests and things like that. When did you come to this music, to the blues?
Well, the blues is something that I took for granted because it was always there.
Right.
And I never really paid attention to it, but it was in all of our DNAs, whether we liked it or not. And I think I came to it as a middle-aged guy. I think I could relate to people like Robert Johnson, Skip James, Lead Belly. These are all my heroes, R.L. Burnside, after I had lived and struggled and lost my right hand, which is my playing hand, and this had gone through life and death struggles, hell and high waters. Then I was like, wow, I get it. And I remember the first time hearing Skip James again for it'd been 20 years, and I think it made me cry. His voice felt like a blanket to me. It was just, I finally could relate to these guys. One man, one guitar against the world.
Yeah. You allude to the loss of the use of your right hand. How much, was the result of a car crash that nearly killed you.
Yes.
You were in a coma,
3
rods
weeks.
placed in all parts of your body. Is that the photo that's on the cover of this new album? It's you in a hospital bed.
Right. It's funny, I was looking for an album cover, and it's going through all the cool pictures of myself, which is pretty easy. And someone sent me that picture, and I thought, man, it took me back. And I said, you know what this picture is? I said, that is the picture of the state of America right now. And I thought that it was perfect and fitting for the album. But it was the day that I woke up from this horrible accident, which is the way which inspired the album. I felt like, man, wherever you are on the spectrum politically, this is a horrible accident, and we're really divided. And I thought, what brings us together? Music, riffs, no matter who you are. I thought, making the whole album, I was like, everybody likes Johnny B. Good. I just kept thinking that. Everybody likes that. And I thought about riffs, I thought about chants, and I thought about doing my part and contributing as a musician, bringing people together no matter where you are ideologically, and celebrating this thing, life and love and the good things.
Yeah. So just to come back, how much use of your hand do you have now? You play.
Like this is my left hand and this is my right hand.
Right.
So I can move my fingers, I can't move my wrist. And I can move my fingers, it feels like someone cut open my hand and put concrete in it.
Yeah.
So it's, but you know what? Hey, like the song on my album, I don't know if I can say it, take that BS, turn it into GS. Mm-hmm. Can I actually say that?
You just did.
Well, I want to say it. Well, you know what I'm trying to say.
I know what you're saying.
But
you can say it.
Take that bullshit and turn it into good shit. And I made that my mantra every day, and that's my philosophy. And I feel that way about life, about marriage, about society. I think that, my hand was a great teacher to me because it was severely damaged and taken away from me. So I thought, what am I going to do? I'm at this fork. I can go down this way, or I can go the way of positivity, productivity, taking the bullshit, turn it into good shit. Whatever you have, you work with it.
Right.
And put your heart and soul into it.
Well, and as we heard last time you were here, I mean, you're perfectly capable of still playing the guitar.
Well, the band may disagree, but yeah.
When was the accident? What year was that?
That was like, that was, I remember it was like 99. I was still on Interscope under this huge $1 million advance deal that was big and the end of my creative process, basically. And I remember getting dropped from the label when I was in the hospital, and I could barely move or any, I couldn't use the bathroom by myself, but I managed a big smile, like finally I got him, broken, battered, and bruised. But yeah, I felt like free to start the second part of my musical life.
So the first part was under the name Xavier.
Yeah, it was Xavier, and like I was in my 20s. I wanted the best women, the best wine, the best sex, the best house, the best car, the best drugs that I could sell. Yeah, I wanted it all. I was the taker. I was like complete, full-blown narcissist, which we see a lot on Twitter these days.
Twitter and in real life, I'm saying.
Yeah, it's kind of the era. We're in the era of but especially there's a guy on Twitter. I was like, wow, I used to be a lot like that guy. And if I get a chance to talk to him, I'm gonna help him.
Okay. Sad. So it would have been in this kind of hiatus, after the accident and before you reinvented yourself as Fantastic Negrito, that you started coming back to the blues and kind of uncovering this, as you call it, Black Roots music.
Yeah, I call it Black Roots music for everyone because I look at the scope of that Black Roots music, and it's everywhere I go on the planet, everybody's taken it and done something incredible and amazing, and it's for all of us. And that's what part of these people who came here from Africa, man, it's part of our world pop culture now. And I only call myself Fantastic Negrito because to give respect and to pay homage to the people that made everything possible for us. And that's the reason why. There's nothing really that fantastic about me. It's really about this amazing garden that I picked from that came from a pretty dark place.
Yeah.
And it's really the same thing. Take that bullshit, turn it into good shit. And if anybody can learn anything about me, man, it can all be done. Because the second incarnation, I was kind of just aimlessly in Los Angeles, and I owned like this illegal nightclub, and it was my birthday every day, and I'd make all this music and struggle, and it was an interesting period. Then I decided to quit. So you can even quit, sell all your equipment, all your gear. And isn't that kind of the American dream, that there's still a possibility? And I came out of it, in my 40s. I was like, well, I'll go take the guitar and I'll play on the street. That's a good idea. And people are like, really? That's weird. And I thought, no, it's great. If you got good songs, go play them for people. Don't play them for your friends. They're just going to tell you that they're good. Yeah. Don't play them for some guy in the ivory tower. He's going to try to put you in a box and try to market you. And you got to sound like this, and you got to look like this. You got to act like this. But I thought, like, just power to the people, going out there to the train station in front of Colonial Donuts at 2 a.m., playing the guitar and connecting with my fellow citizens, human beings on the planet.
Now, this was not in L.A., right?
This was in Oakland.
In Oakland.
Yeah, I when I left L.A., I sold everything, quit everything, and I moved to Oakland to become a cannabis cultivator, a farmer, because that was pretty lucrative. And when I'm done, I'm done. And I was like, I don't want to be a musician anymore. People would talk to me about music, and I'd laugh like, man, I don't even think about that. I'm so busy, running an art gallery. I'm in a collective, and we're growing weed and we're eating, and it's pretty good. And so I thought I was done, but I wasn't. Something amazing brought me back, and the third life, man, my third act.
Yep. And the new album called Please Don't Be Dead. Now, we talked a little bit about this the name Fantastic Negrito. There's a kind of a lightness to it. There's a light touch.
Yes.
Please Don't Be Dead is a darker touch.
It's so interesting. Like, people were like, we freaked out. I thought, no, it means something, so I got to explain it. To me, I spent a lot of time in the last year traveling through Europe and Australia and Japan and different places. In every country that I was in, people would say, what is going on in America? Next country. What is going on in America? Next country. What is going on in America? Which is the accent for every country.
I was just going to say, they all have the same accent.
Yeah, they all have the same accent. Yeah, it's an American traveling. So I thought, wow, I've had a very precarious, interesting relationship with America based on a lot of circumstances, and I've looked at America a certain way, but it made me rethink it. I thought, you know what? America's a diet. That's all that it is. We're just on a diet here. And the thing about a diet, you fall off the diet. You eat those donuts. You go eat that, huge sundae and Danishes that you shouldn't have eaten, but then you get back on it because it's a good idea. And so I started looking at the States as like, you know what? People view us as a place of liberty, place of hope, place where you can have a chance. You can come here. You can be the grandson or son of immigrant and not come from the upper class and become president of the United States. It's happened a few times now. That you could have a dream, and like me in my 40s, I'm going to go out and play on the streets. That'll show them, Any other place, you'd get laughed out of the room. But this is a place where anything can happen, where hope happens, where dreams happens, where we have open arms, and we welcome people from different places, and we give people the opportunity to contribute. And I think the world now looks at us and they look at, wow, it doesn't seem like that place anymore. It seems like a meaner place, a nastier place where we want to ban people based on the religions. We want to build walls based on people's skin colors, where there's a double standard. And that's not who we are. Yeah. We're a country of immigrants. And we're a loving country if you give us a chance and we get our stuff together. I get we're an empire. I get that. I didn't start that, but I know the beautiful side of America, the chances.
So please don't be dead.
It's to America. America, please don't be dead. Yeah. Liberty, justice, peace, hope. We need you. We need you to keep being American, at least saying. Yeah. I'm willing to keep pretending, world. Yeah. I'm willing to do it. Let's keep saying the good things because, whatever we think about, that's who we are. Yeah. If you're feeling crappy and bigoted, well, that's what you're going to emit to the world. But if you're feeling like, hey, hope, hey, a chance, hey, man, an opportunity, hey, you're welcome here too. There's a fair shot if you work hard and all that. I love all that stuff, and I would love to get back to it.
Yeah. Xavier Dphrepaulezz Fantastic Negrito. The new album's called Please Don't Be Dead. You guys are touring around. You'll be back here in these parts.
We will.
Literally. Up the block. On August 23rd at SOB's. Sold out performance then at the Afropunk Festival in Brooklyn on Sunday the 26th, but playing for us here in our studio in New York. This next song is called The Duffler. What is a Duffler?
What is a Duffler? We need a whole segment on the Duffler. Well, that's the beauty of being an American. You can keep reinventing and creating things. And it's a world and a word like Fantastic Negrito that I just created myself. It was someone that, man, they have everything right in front of them, but they just keep looking over there because that looks better. And they have every opportunity and every chance, and they have incredible things that are happening in their life, but they just don't see it until it disappears. That is the Duffler, and I know him well.
All right, let's hear another live performance here in the studio from Fantastic Negrito.
She took everything. Ooh, welcome to my life. I want to welcome you to my life. Nothing tried to tell me, but now I'm so sorry. And I blame all those things that are wrong with my life.
What a conspiracy, yeah.
Oh, I want to welcome you to my life.
So sad to be alone. Said I wanna come home. So sad to be alone. I wanna come home. So sad to be alone. Said I wanna come home. I won't do it again and again and again and again and again. Ooh. Don't let computers and man, don't let them change your mind.
Fantastic Negrito with a song called The Duffler. That's on the new record called Please Don't Be Dead, but you just heard a live performance on this edition of the Soundcheck podcast. And, Xavier, as you look at the band, it's such a diverse group of people. When you guys are touring around and you look out at the audience, who are you seeing? Does it look like the band? Or?
I feel like, it looks like everyone. I see, 18-year-olds, and I see an 81-year-old man like on a cane. And you see black, white, Asian, Hispanic, Latino, straight, gay. It looks like the microcosm of what we say we are.
Yeah. The funny thing is that this kind of music, these sort of blues-inflected rock licks and stuff, are very out of fashion, and yet I'm hard-pressed to think...
Like my
pants? Talk about come hell or high water. But, I'm hard-pressed to think of anybody who doesn't really dig that kind of, when they're in the presence of that kind of music. It really seems, like you said before, it's in our DNA.
It's in our DNA. I mean, and, I'm from the Bay Area. Grew up mostly, all my formidable years are in the Bay Area. And it's something I learned about being from the Bay, man, is be yourself. And don't worry about the box that people are trying to put you in. And just because something's popular doesn't mean that it's awesome, right? Or vice versa. And the Bay Area, we have Metallica and Tony. You know what I mean? And we have E40 and Creedence Clearwater Revival. It's just the Bay Area. It's a Bay Area thing, I believe. I learned a lot about free speech, which is from the Bay Area,
right?
Expression. I think it's what America is, who we say we are.
Yeah,
we have the Black Panthers and Hell's Angels.
So when did you learn all this stuff? Because as you say, you spent your formative years there, but then you went through a period where you seemed maybe not to have gotten that message for a while.
I think I'm still learning, and I think it's a lifelong process, of trying to embrace things that are great for you, things that are good for you. And but I caught on pretty quick. I came from New England, and as soon as I got off the boat at 12 years old, I didn't come back home. I ran away.
You went from New England to the Bay
Oakland.
Area by boat?
Well, it wasn't really a boat. Okay. I was fresh off the boat. We took a boat. We paddled, actually. Me and my family, all 14 of us. No, I'm joking. But I thought that I felt something. I felt at home. And I don't want any 12-year-olds out there to run away, but I ran away, and man, the streets were calling me. I needed it. I needed to belong to this tribe. I always call the Bay Area, we're a tribe. You know.
Well, your family name begins with the most unlikely assortment of consonants before you even get to the first D, P, H, R. As if you had immigrated from the Klingon Empire. What kind of name is that?
That's the best one I've heard so far throughout my life. Well, you know, I think it's a little bit unknown and ambiguous in my family. But when I think about it and thought about it more, I thought, what's more American than people reinventing themselves? And I think that I may have come from a group of people who did that. My dad was born in 1905. He was,
What?
I'm old sperm, yeah. I'm very old
Wow.
sperm, yeah. And he was 30. He was
good
30.
For Dad.
Yeah, he was 33 years older than my mom. So, you know, hard to track. He doesn't really have much of a paper trail. He told us a lot of things. Some of them didn't add up, but I kind of just chuck it off as like, you know what? I'm probably a lot like him. And I think there's nothing more American than people going out there. They want a chance. They're trying to survive, and so they start recreating themselves. And
as you have had to do a couple of times during the
times.
course of your life.
Yes.
Do you ever look back? Do you ever go back to the Xavier stuff from the 90s, to that music?
I don't really look back, to be honest with you. I mean, when people have bring it to my attention, I think I've listened and I thought, okay, there was a kid, he was trying to be famous. He's a young, talented kid trying to put it together. He was trying to be a star, which seems far away from me now.
Yeah.
Because the opposite, I want to not make hit records. I want to do what I think is important as a contribution to the world that I live in. I'm not interested in fame. It's completely different now. And, you know, you got to look back. That's part of what got me here. All the things that we go through in life, the ups and downs, the horrible things, the great things, the sad things, they kind of make us who we are.
Right.
They're the ingredients. So I needed that ambitious, you know, guy in his 20s, you know, trying to, here's my demo, listen to my demo, everybody check me out. You know, he ended up with $1 million deal. So he did good for us. But musically, it seems far away. There's a few songs where I go, wow, that was a good song. You know, I think I was always a songwriter first. I always say I'm really a instrumentalist that's not interested in playing instruments. I look at them as the tools, and I got to get this song done. So when I started getting into music, I was an automatic songwriter. It was just here, and I like that. I like if I can make an amazing song with one chord change, that's when I'm doing it. You know? That's the epitome. I like, yes, I didn't need anything, and I made it happen. I think that's the beauty and simplicity sometimes, and creativity. Be good no matter what. Those are the rules of be good. So I like songs because I like trying to connect with people. That's the road, is through songs for me.
Not bad for a kid from a Klingon American family who crossed the United States on a boat.
I'm going to start using that. Klingon.
So what song would you like to wrap up with here today?
Well, I was thinking about just being in the studio, being in New York. I had memories of opening for Temple of the Dog at Madison Square Garden. I walked past
the late Chris Cornell.
Yeah, Chris Cornell was a very important person in the on the road to being Fantastic Negrito. He was the first person that, you know, kind of took me out, did 3 tours with him, and introduced me to a lot of people around the world. And let's bring it way down, and I would like to do a song called Dark Windows that I wrote at the end of the album. And when I was making this album, I was like, 1968, Channel 1968, and I was looking up all the records made, and it was like Electric, was it Foxy Lady, was it Electric Ladyland?
Electric Ladyland, Jimi Hendrix. The Beatles album, the White Album, like albums like that. I wanted to just be free, man, and do songs like A Boy Named Andrew, and at the end, you got Dark Windows, completely different, but I was leaving the studio, and I just started going through all the emails that Chris and I used to exchange, and it just came, and I thought, wow, this is different, and I want an album to be a journey of different turns, and if it's not all like fitting together, then I'm on the right track. That's the way I look at it. As a producer going in there, I'm like, okay, I talk to myself, now I want you to be as free as you can, the opposite of continuity. All right, let's hear the song. It's called Dark Windows from Fantastic Negrito. It appears on his latest album called Please Don't Be Dead. The band playing live up the block at SOB's on Thursday, the 23rd of August, playing live for us here today on the Soundcheck Podcast.
Found Black Daisy was always a good friend to me. He told me the pain that he felt when he was a kid. Loved the way that his father sat strong at the table, but never said a single word to him.
They don't know. My friends in danger now. Sing all the songs the ones fathers teach sons how to sing. You put food on the table and always left a place for me. The black hole in the sun that you wanted to come will never wash away the pain we feel. All my friends in danger now. My friends in danger. It's all a bad, bad, bad dream. Sometimes a bad, bad, bad dream wakes a good man from his sleep at night.
That's called Dark Windows, another live performance from Fantastic Negrito here in the studio, and as Xavier was telling us before, kind of a tribute to the late Chris Cornell, singer
Yes.
from Soundgarden and Temple of the Dog and Audio Slave. And, he's certainly part of a long lineage of great musicians whom we've lost to, the perils and the pitfalls of this business that you're all in. Now, here you are, you've gone through a lot, you're back on the road. How do you strike the balance between your family and, pursuing your career as a professional musician?
Well, I think that you said the key word is that you need your family and you need your friends. And you need the people that are around you that sometimes will piss you off, but they have your best interest in mind. And I think it's one of the good things about kind of getting it going at my age is that you're kind of beyond all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen it all in my 20s and 30s, and there's so many examples around of what not to do. But truthfully, yeah, this business kills people. And as you said, a long line. Chris Cornell was, such a wonderful human being behind all the rock star stuff, and that's the Chris Cornell that I keep in my heart. And
in that song.
And in that song, you know, I love him dearly, and I'll always say his name.
Well, Xavier, I can't guarantee that I will always say your name, Xavier Dphrepaulezz.
That's why I'm Fantastic Negrito.
But you are Fantastic Negrito.
Because I knew they wouldn't say that.
It's the album's called Please Don't Be Dead. It's been great having you and the band playing for us here today. Thanks so much. Great to see you again.
Man, thanks for having me, and please have me back.
Sure will.
All right.
This is Soundcheck.
Sunshine, walking in the rain.
Seems like a good song to end with.